Hey guys, this is Naveen here. Welcome back to Naveen Automation Labs. Today, back to our mock interview series, guys. Today we have a really good candidate from New York. Her name is Elvina, and I think she is having around 6+ years of experience in manual and automation testing. Resume looks good. I can see 3 pages of resume. Looks good. A lot of things. I think she has worked with Selenium, Cucumber, Testng, JUnit, API, SQL. Looks good. And HPALM, Agile, Waterfall. Yeah, I think it's a perfect resume for I think 6+ years of experience. Professional summary also looks good. Current couple of projects also looks good to me. So let's welcome Elvina.
Hi, Naveen. Thanks for
Hi,
having me.
how are you, Elvina?
Good. Thank you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. So thanks for having this call with me. And your resume looks really good, Elvina. And I think currently you are in New York, right?
Yes, I'm currently in New York. I'm working in, let me introduce myself. I'm Elvina. I'm full stack automation engineer in test. I've been
Mm-hmm.
working more than 6 years in IT industry in the different domains. Um,
Mm-hmm.
my project, it's a loan service management where I have uh, employees they are taking the merchant application, and where they based on that documentation, the whole taking documentation, they approve or reject the merchant application for the loan. So my responsibilities is as a Q automation. I'm responsible
Mm-hmm.
for maintain the automation. First of all,
Mm-hmm.
to give the high quality of the product, and
Mm-hmm.
during this, I'm participating all the Scrum meetings. We are following agile methodology. I participate all the Scrum meetings, and then we have a 2-week sprint.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so my project based on Cucumber. My tool is called Cucumber, based on behavior-driven development. I use Selenium WebDriver.
Mm-hmm.
Also for the assertion and validation, I use JUnit.
Oh,
I'm
nice.
Yes, as my framework as a UI and API framework, I have JDBC library, and then I use for automation RestAssured library, and
Okay.
I do like manual as a QA tester, like 20%, and mostly like 80% is automation.
Wow, that's great. Awesome. Are you enjoying your job? Are you like
Yeah,
whatever
I'm
you're
so
doing?
excited. I'm like hardworking person. I'm very
Mm-hmm.
curious about my like job with like taking the whole the business requirements. I really like a detail oriented person. Like I search everything, read carefully, and
Mm-hmm.
then I come up approach with my team where we discuss how we can.
So if you're enjoying and you're having everything is good, your tech stack is really good, and the kind of tools and technologies that you're using, which is like amazingly good, like then why do you want to change? Why are you looking for the change?
I look for change because my contract is ending first of all.
Okay.
And then, yeah, of course, there's in the market. I have to learn more tools
Mm-hmm.
first of all, and then to meet other people. And yeah, it's my like a further opportunity to be as a QA lead.
Okay. So great. So you were saying you are into 20% manual and 80% into automation. So what exactly you're doing in terms of manual testing? Like what are the different activities you're doing currently with respect
Uh,
to manual?
yeah, when we have business requirements, and then I try to learn first, like read carefully, as I said, and I try to understand what's the concept of the what we are building. So I try to first manually to come up with the idea, like writing the test cases, SQL queries, and then when during this, like when we have during the sprint, the developers like deploying the features, before that I try to understand what's the concept of that, what I'm gonna look at test. So I start creating the test cases manually, then I'm gonna do the automation.
So you are the only person in QA, or you have other team members also?
Now my team consists of 9 people. We have 4 developers, 3 QAs, business analyst, product owner, and Scrum Master.
So how do you divide your work with respect to QA? So all 3 QAs like working together, like
One
which
of
what?
them is a QA lead. She mostly is a leader, but me and my another coworker, we taking the same responsibilities. When I write the code, I show to review to her. When she writes the code, she shows me to review the code. So we are like a not. We're taking the 50-50% responsibilities together.
Okay, okay. So, but you were saying that you're converting your manual test cases into automation, but on what basis? What can you tell me that, okay, everything you are going to convert into automation, or there is some criteria?
I'll try to convert everything like to make it 100% automation test. Taking the whole like a main functionalities, like the what's a priority one, what can I do to test, not just only like before the manual. I try to understand the concept of the business logic of the application, and then first I'm trying to like manual test it, and then try to come up with the idea how I can automate.
So you are saying 100% automation you're trying to achieve, like it means it certify that you guys are not doing any manual testing, right? If 100% automation, everything you're doing with respect to automation. And can you claim that, okay, your automation is absolutely working fine, you don't need to do any manual testing?
No, I cannot say this like my framework, it's application 100% automated, but I'm trying to get to that like as much as I can to automate every single features
So
like.
can you
But
tell me with few examples where, okay, these are the best candidates for the automation, these are the test cases I'm going to pick for the automation, these are the best one, and some of the test cases should not be automated. Can you tell me what all those test cases I should not automate?
what all test case I shouldn't automate it. I would say maybe to first like when you have the documents in front of you, right? And then if there is a like a lack of that information that you don't have it, so then you're trying to manual automate if it's possible to manually test and then try to come up with to the automation. But if it's not, like then you're taking like this is the manual that we can right.
Okay.
It's all on the documents that we have handling.
So how many test cases you have in automation? Do you have any approximate count in your current project?
In
100,
my
200?
project, on UI application, I do have for the smoke testing around like 42 test cases, like 43, which is runs like 15-16 minutes. And then for UI, like or for API, I have around like 38, maybe less, a little bit less. And for the like it and then for the regression, I do have like for the UI around 355, 56 test cases.
355 UI test cases in regression. So how much time it take? Like
it takes
how much time it takes?
yeah, it takes it 2 and 2.5 hours.
Okay. So how frequently you are running them? Like, are you running them daily or whenever it's needed?
No, the smoke testing I set up in Jenkins, which is in the morning. They run in the morning. And then for the regression, it's also set up in Jenkins. We run twice a month.
Twice a month. Okay.
Because it's sprint, it's 2-week sprints, and then every time when a sprint is when we release to the production, so we do the regression testing.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So you are saying that you have around 355 test cases in regression. So what is the percentage for passing percentage? Is it 100% passing, or are you getting some failures as well?
Yeah, of course we do have the failures, and then on the Jenkins we have the nicely report that shows that all the screenshots what test was failed, and then
So
of course
how many test cases are getting failed on average for
on
regression?
maybe 50-60.
50-60% or 50-60 count?
No, like if it's count like maybe a 10, the maximum maybe 20%.
20% test cases are getting failed. So what could
Yeah.
be the reason? That's an application issue or issue with your script?
I tried to figure out first what was the fail, and then try to find the reason how it became. Is it my test scripts failing, or is it is it like a real bug? So if it's
Okay.
if it's my test scripts failing, so I try to retest it on my local machine, try to understand where is that, like I missed some part of the functionalities. So if it's my case, test scripts is failing, though I'm trying to fix it. If it's not from my side, then I have to check my logs, like where's the problem, and then if it's like getting continuously the same test cases was failing, those I'm going to approach to my developer.
Okay. So tell me that what is the reason that you are getting your script failure? Application is working fine, but the failures are coming because of your script. What could be the reason? Can you tell me a couple of practical reasons?
Yeah, when they released a new feature, and I have I start like on writing the test scripts, and then one feature can the functionality which is like connect to another functionalities, so I can have that problem. It's not like a chainable. It's we have sometimes like when I'm creating the one functionality to try to test, it can be failed to another cause to another features. So sometimes I have this kind of problem, and we can what else? This is like
Okay.
a main
Okay.
one.
Okay. So let's say you found that okay, these are the 5 test cases and they are getting failed because of your script issue. What will be the next action item that you are going to do that? How exactly you're going to fix them?
How exactly? So I try to analyze first where the cause of the failing, and then I try to, like as I said, try to retest on my local machine, and then if it's fixed it, so I try to retest it, and then push it to the.
Okay. So you are using Cucumber with BDD framework and BDD approach. You are using it. So can you tell me like overall the project, overall the framework architecture, what are the different components that you have? How exactly you're writing the test cases? Give me the
Mhm.
basic architecture of your entire framework.
Yeah, my framework is built in Maven tool. Is a Cucumber based on BDD. I have feature files where I'm creating the scenarios, and then those scenarios I'm implementing in the step definition package. I have my project. It's based on page object model. So where I have pages classes where I like create, collect, store all my web elements in those classes. So this gives my clean and readable codes. And then I have web driver like the interface with the driver. It's one instance of it's running only one instance. It's a design singleton, design pattern as a singleton. So also I have hooks package where I have set up to annotation.
So in your page object model, why we are using page object model? What is the advantage? Can you tell me like some really good advantages with page object model?
A page object model, it's very cool design because we encapsulating our codes. We hiding codes outside of users, so it's very easy to have like, for example, home page, search page, footer page. So to put it on each class of those web elements, and then to take those functionalities that the web elements, and then put it on the using on the methods. So it's reusable, it's code maintainable.
Okay, so are you writing your assertions in your page classes, or you are writing assertions in some other classes?
No, I don't write on the assertions. I just put the headers or any like simple methods, but mostly on the step definitions where I write the I put the assertion over there.
So if I say that, okay, let's see, I have a login page in the home page.java, and then you write your web elements over there, and then you create some page actions, methods like that, do login method or search method, something like this. And if I say that, okay, you have to assert within the method only, inside your page class only, is it a good practice to write the assertion inside the page class?
I don't think so, to put it assertion in the page classes, because it's on the page classes I usually store my web elements. So by add find by and putting the whole my XPath CC selector, so I can just only like store my web elements to see the clean. But for example, if the reusability for the login page, I can put it as a another package for this code. It's like all the time is reusable, so I can use that the method. So then I can put it in another class. It's not
but
like
in your page class, let's say you are storing your web elements with the @find by, you're using some page factory pattern over there. Yes. And in the same page class, you're using your methods as well, right? Your page methods, let's say login method, search method. Yeah. So my question is that inside the search method, I search for a product, and inside the method itself, I write an assertion in my page class. And then I'll call that method from the JUnit or from Testng, let's see. Is it a good practice?
Yeah, you can do also like putting on that page classes for that like main functionalities.
So what I'm saying is that writing the assertion inside the page method or inside the page class, is it a good practice?
Inside of the method, it's good practice, but I never used putting on the classes, page classes. I usually put on the method and then out of the page classes.
Okay. So tell me, what are the disadvantages with the page object model design pattern? So these are the advantages you said, okay, maintenance, reusability, and everything. And then some disadvantages with this page object model.
Disadvantages, I wouldn't say the disadvantages, because it's very convenient to store the web elements, and then if there is like a developer change the for example some ID locator or some like you just go to the page and then you can just change it. I wouldn't say any like it can be the disadvantages.
So let's see, if I have an e-commerce application where and where we have, let's see, assume that, okay, I'm just giving you a very hypothetical number where 500 pages are there. Assume that. Are you going to create 500 pages over there? According to the page object model, for every page class, we have to create a separate Java class. So are you going to maintain 500 Java pages over there?
If I have 500 web elements?
No, I'm not talking about 500 web elements. I'm talking about 500 web pages, login page, home page, registration page. Yeah.
Maybe this is the disadvantage of the putting all the in one class, right? But
No, I'm not talking about one class. I'm talking about 500 page classes.
500 page classes. Yeah, it's gonna be like a big and huge. Maybe this is the disadvantage of that.
So what do you understand single responsibility principle?
Singleton?
No, not Singleton. I'm talking about single responsibility principle. It's one of the principle of design patterns.
I'm not sure about it.
So you are using a Singleton pattern. Can you tell me, like, can we achieve parallel testing with Singleton pattern?
Parallel testing, I use Sourcelabs, and I put it so can we achieve Singleton? Yes, so we can achieve, because driver, we set up a web driver, and then by switch we can choose any browser. We can put it like a Chrome driver, Firefox driver.
Using Singleton, right? Singleton means that you are not allowing other thread to create the at the same time. Then how will you achieve the parallel testing with Singleton pattern? What is Singleton pattern? What do you understand with Singleton pattern?
Singleton pattern, it's on the driver that we are initializing our driver only instance, only running once, like the driver running once. So once we have a private constructor, and then we creating that method, static public, to have how do you say, to that method allows to
yeah, that method allows to create the object only once, right? If object is already created, next time you cannot create that, because Singleton, that's why it is named with Singleton.
Right.
Okay, anyway, so just read about it later, maybe later on you can read about it. So you are saying that you are running on Sourcelabs. So are you using the concept of remote web driver?
A remote web driver? No, I don't use the concept remote web driver.
Then how are you running your test cases on Sourcelabs?
On Sourcelabs, I create the that pass from the GitHub. So the repository that I pushed on the GitHub, and those from the Sourcelabs, it takes that.
But in your repository, that is fine. It's available on GitHub. But the question is that without remote web driver, how will you run your test cases on Sourcelabs? Because Sourcelabs will give you their hub URL, right? That hub URL you have to put in the remote web driver.
Right. I'm not sure. Yes.
So without remote web driver, where exactly you will pass the hub URL?
Yeah, so it's yeah, right, you're correct, it's on the remote web driver. I'm just confused with the local. Yes.
Then passing some desired capabilities over there, right?
Yeah, desirable capabilities, right? I was like out of my mind.
Okay, no worries. So have you used some Selenium Grid earlier? Let's see, I don't want to use Sourcelabs. I want to set up my own Selenium Grid.
I never used the Selenium Grid, but I know the concept. It's that.
Can you tell me a quick concept about Selenium Grid? What do you understand by grid?
It's for the parallel execution, where is the hub controller, and I know like a Node something, but I never used the Selenium Grid. So
Okay, no worries, that's fine. Okay, so you are using Cucumber framework with Java. So tell me that how will you design a proper Cucumber feature file? Do you follow any good practices like when to use given, when to use when? So tell me like what are the best practices to design a feature file?
okay, so the best design of the feature files is to in the scenario to have an annotation, we can say, right? That when given, first of all, given, then we have to have the explanation what we're going to do, and then given as a then when we can use then it's going to the house of when and then. So and then we can also use between them and. So also we have background on the we can separate like a background to like the each it's more like not consciously to use those background. So and then on the features I have data table where I can create the data table and I use it. Also scenarios I have with example outline. So scenario outline with examples. So it very also reusable, and then it's like making your code clean.
So tell
And
me,
then
can you tell me the difference between background and hooks in Cucumber?
background and hooks. So in the hooks, as with before annotation, I can set up the driver and then as a home driver, and then background I can put it like a condition that is like my scenario will be run each time when my first background will be run for the each scenarios.
Okay, so hooks will be defined inside in the form of code, or hooks I have to define inside my feature file.
No, I have another hook, a separate class. And
so
then
can I write my hooks in my feature file? Is it possible?
I never did that, but
what do you think? Because hooks means available in the form of @ before and @ after. Can I
yes,
write hooks in my feature file?
I don't think so.
Okay, yeah, we cannot. Good.
Yeah.
So you are using this a data table and examples keyword. So what is the difference like between data tables and examples? When to use?
Yeah, data table, if we put on the scenario data table, it will runs whatever you have lines on the data table once. If on the scenario outline with the examples, if you have like several lines, right, like which is like it's great, so it will run each time that scenario will like whatever you have lines, whenever you have that lines on the scenario outline example, that scenario will be run how many lines you have on that data table.
Good, good. So who writes this feature file? Like it's your responsibility, or dev and PU also contributing for writing the feature file?
My responsibility is to write this all the feature files as a I know it's like it's working language, so everybody can read. It's understandable. So I write the feature file test cases.
Then why can't they contribute? They can also contribute, right? That's a main basic fundamental of BDD approach, that all QA, dev, and PO should participate to design the feature file. They have to collaborate to design the features.
Yeah, of
Why
course, we I do collaboration with the team, but this is my code that I'm writing, that I'm putting the whole, for example, if I'm searching that same login, right? So I have like 10 scenarios with the positive, negative. So I would say like it's my responsibility because I'm testing that features and then that functionality. So I write the test cases.
But it's your project, right? It's not about your functionality. It's your project and it's their project as well. It's,
Right.
so don't you think it's a violation of the BDD? Like this is not BDD in that case. This is just you are using Cucumber. I can use Testng also in that case. I can use a typical TDD approach also. Why do you need to use a Cucumber in that case? What is the advantage you are getting?
Advantage is that anybody can read my features. It's very understandable. First of all, on the report, you can see that how it was written, and then with the steps, like detailed steps, so we can characterize each step of that scenario. So it's readable for any user outside. So it's I would say like, yeah, of course, with the collaboration with the team, if I miss something, like I can edit, and then, you know, like we always discuss like how this feature was start working, how we designed it much better or cleaner.
Okay, so do you share your feature files with the developers and with the POs as well?
With the I don't share with my developers because
then on what then? But you are saying that okay, it's quite readable. Anyone can read that. If you are not sharing them with them, then how exactly they can read it?
everybody can read it, but like I'm not like directly going to the developer and say like, hey, can you like look at my feature files? Like no, but everybody can say like it's like access for the business analysis for the product owner. So
Okay. So how comfortable you are in Selenium? Like if I ask you some basic questions on Selenium, so where do you see like, yeah, this is the most strong area that I feel comfortable in Selenium?
I would say everything on the Selenium.
Great. Okay. Okay. So tell me, why do you get stale element reference exception?
When it's element is old. For example,
Oh,
if I refresh the window or the, you know, when I refresh it, then it became old. Then I have that exception, stale element.
okay, good. What do you mean by refresh? Why? Why suddenly what happens? When you refresh the page, you are getting a stale element. But element will be there, right? After refreshing also, you can put a wait over here and element still will be there. But you are getting still element reference exception.
Why? If maybe it's some could be when, you know, like my code's running faster than the browser, and then maybe I will get that the time, lack of the time, then the web is refreshing, then it became old. This is the one sometimes can be the problem.
Okay, okay, no worries. So tell me the difference between implicitly wait and the explicitly wait. What is the
So
exact, which one you prefer?
I prefer both because as implicitly wait, we are putting the some waiting condition. So with the time, how much it's set up once, and then with the find elements and then find elements, we can put how much time we can wait our code will be running, right? And then explicitly wait, it usually works with the expected condition, like if that element is clickable, element is present. It's
So if
both.
I ask you that okay, in your framework, I apply implicitly wait and explicitly wait together in your framework. Is it a good practice?
Why not? So
Why? Why is it a good practice?
if you go to that for example, if I can put it implicitly wait if I go to that my, for example, login the same page, right, to the URL. So I put that some implicitly wait some per certain condition, and then if my test the functionality it doesn't clickable, right, or something it doesn't or like how to say not clickable or not visible, then I can put them some condition, expected condition.
So let's see, for example, you are implicitly wait is a global wait, right? When you declare it, it will be applied for all the web elements. So let's say you have given 30 seconds of implicitly wait or 40 seconds of implicitly wait. Automatically by default, it will be applied for all the elements. Whenever driver is going to interact with the web elements, it
Yes.
will be applied. And then on top of that, you're applying explicitly wait also. Don't you think it will generate some cumulative wait?
Oh, if
Right?
on top of that the implicitly wait, no, I don't think so. On top of the implicitly wait, we cannot put it explicitly wait.
Then you, but in your framework, you are using it, right? You are using both the things together. You are using implicitly wait as well as you are using explicitly wait also.
Right. So I think so for the explicitly wait, I put it like a maybe like as a like putting the condition, right? If for example that that the element is present, then I should put it explicitly wait, not implicitly wait.
So what if I told, if I tell you that, okay, remove implicitly wait from the framework and use only explicitly wait, is it a good practice?
For whole methods, no, of course not.
And if I say that, okay, you use only implicitly wait and remove explicitly wait, is it a good practice?
Same thing, no.
So you will be, so what is a good practice according to you?
Uh, like putting the explicitly and implicitly wait as much as where you can see that you know that the connection to with the web browser, like a
So you are saying that if I put implicitly wait and explicitly wait together in my framework, that is the best thing to handle the synchronization issues. This is
it's a
what you're
bad
trying to
thing
say.
like to handle the browser synchronizations, right?
Are you sure?
I'm not sure. I never used that implicit wait and then explicit wait in one method.
Mhm.
But
Okay.
maybe it's not the best practice.
Okay. Okay. That's fine. No worries. Okay. Back to our Selenium thing. So can you tell me that there is for example, let's see, a total number of links are available on the web page, right? How will you get total number of links available on the web page? Which mechanism you will be using it? So the question number one is that you have to give me the total number of links available on the web page. You can pick any application, Amazon or whatever the application that you want to pick. And then you have to tell me that you have to print the text of each and every link on the console. So how will you do that?
Okay, so if I need to have that all the list of the develop elements,
Hmm.
right? As I know, like a find by elements, give the list of the web elements,
Hmm.
and
Find by
how?
elements on what basis?
Oh, but what basis? So find by elements, and I have to have that XPath, and then right. So to find that first element, and then
XPath
the
or what? Because the question is that you have to find out all the links available on the web page. So
right
how will you
all the.
design for that?
For example, you're saying it's Amazon, right? And then I'm searching through the button where I can see the list of that where I search. This is the
Hmm.
question, if I'm not mistaken. So I would first I would find by elements and putting the XPath with
Tell me the XPath to find out all the links available on the page.
okay.
or you will be using by.tag name is a better approach.
Oh, right, tag name or by the link text. I forgot the ID locators or the locators. So yeah, by the link text.
Not by the link text, by.tag name,
But
and
tag
then you
name.
can pass what is the tag of, what is the HTML tag of all the links?
So that by the tag name we can get all the list of the elements.
Yeah, so what is the tag name you will pass over there? What is the HTML tag for all the links? Input, div, a, anchor tag, what?
It's gonna be div, right?
Div is not a link.
Then if it's not the link, then
Don't you think it's a tag, anchor tag? All the
right.
links are
Yes.
okay, good. So let's say you have used driver.findElements by.tag name a. So what is the return type of find elements method in Java, in Selenium?
It will, if there was the element in the tag name a, so it will take the whole list with that tag where's the consist a.
So what exactly it will return? It will return a list.
It will return the list.
Okay, so list is order-based collection or non-order-based collection?
It's a list. It's a collection interface.
Yeah, but it will maintain the order, or it will
List.
not.
It will remain not order. Oh, yes, no order.
No order?
Oh, list is, I'm confused with a set. No, yes, it's order. List, it's order.
Okay. Why confusion? Why are you confused?
There was a confusion with a set something. Like in my mindset it became.
Okay. Okay. Can you tell me the virtual capacity of the default virtual capacity of array list?
The
Have you ever
capacity.
seen this?
The
The virtual
capacity of.
capacity.
Could you repeat the question?
Yeah. What is the virtual capacity of array list?
Array list.
Mm-hmm.
So array list is a not fixable. I mean, like no fixed size. So and then
Okay. But I'm talking about. Do you understand what is virtual capacity?
capacity. I'm not sure about it. The capacity of the array list.
Okay, that's fine. No worries. So virtual capacity of array list, by default virtual capacity of array list is 10.
The
Right?
capacity of the yeah.
Okay. Okay, fine. No worries. So how comfortable you are in Java? Like you are writing your code in Java, right? In your framework. In fact, you're doing RestAssured also and everything. Okay.
I'm good.
So, okay, good. No worries. So that's good. So can you tell me that total number of bytes are taken by long?
Oh,
How many bytes take? Just a very, very basic question.
the very
How
basic question.
Hmm.
It's 3 point. No.
I'm not talking about the range. I'm talking about total number of bytes. It will take 1 byte, 2 byte, 4 bytes.
For the long, right? It will take 8 bytes.
8 bytes, right? Okay. So tell me in Java, like, are you comfortable with the basics of collections?
Yes.
Okay. So can you tell me the difference between hash map and hash set?
Hash map is there was the it consists of a key and value. The hash map we can achieve through the iterator, and key value, as I said, key has a null value, no null value, and then value can be any value. Hash set.
Okay. Instead of hash set, let's take hash table. Have you ever heard about it? Hash table?
Hash table.
Yeah.
Yes.
So tell me the difference between table and hash map.
Okay. Let me recall.
Okay, tell me, hash is synchronized or non-synchronized?
Hash table.
Hash map.
Hash map. It's synchronized.
Okay, what do you mean by synchronized?
Thread. Right.
If a particular collection is synchronized, what do you understand by that?
It means that
Okay, that's perfectly fine. It's okay if you're not sure about it. Okay, so I can see in your resume that you are using Git repositories as well to maintain the code. So are you comfortable with Git?
Sure.
Like, are you actually using Git commands and everything to push the code, to pull the code? So let's see, there is a very new repository that you have created. And the new code you have, Maven project that you have created in your Eclipse, and then you have to push the code to the repository, to the GitHub. Tell me the commands. What are different commands you will be using it?
Okay, if it's a new repository, I can clone, and then I would use on my IntelliJ the command git init, where I'm cloning, and then I have to add. So it will be add remote. Sorry. I'm so sorry. It's
That's okay. Yeah, go ahead.
So I'm getting I'm committing the whole data from the repository. So I'm adding as a git add dot, or if it's a one file, or if it's the star, it's a whole file, and then git commit, and then that is -m, and then I give them some message what I'm trying to push it, and then I'm merging to from my like. Oh, I forgot I have the step that I'm creating the branch in my local repository. So, and then I'm merging through my branch to the my master, and then I am going to with the command git push origin master and giving the path for the repository, and that was where I'm going to push it.
Okay. So you will directly push to the master branch. Is it a good practice? What if it is having some bugs? Your code is not being reviewed by anyone. You are directly pushing to the master branch.
Yes, we can have the conflict. For example, even when I'm pushing to the master, right, the origin master, I can have the conflict. So before that conflict, I have to review what was causing that conflict, and after that.
How will you raise a PR? Do you understand PR process, pull request process?
Pull request process. Yes. So when I pull that request, right, there is a creating the conflict. Then I need to figure out which one, which one I have to accept.
Okay. So, okay, it's not about all the time conflicts, right? Let's say you have written a new brand code, a new Java page class or test class that you have written, and there are no conflicts. Nobody is working on the same files or a similar kind of the module that you're working upon. Nobody's working with that, but you want to push the code to the repository. So to which branch you will be pushing the code? You will be pushing the code to the master branch directly, or you will be pushing the code to some other branch?
No, I will be first pushing on my branch, because if there is a conflict, then I can go back to my branch and then restore it to my master. So usually I work on my branch.
There is no conflict. Let's see, there is no conflict. Everything is fine with your code. Then
I just pull the request. to the origin master.
So you will saying that, okay, you will directly push the code to the branch, master branch.
Yes.
Okay. But who will decide that, okay, you are not having any issues with your code?
The QA lead decides that if
how they will decide?
because I'm requesting, I'm creating the pull request and the
Yeah, that
GitHub.
is my question.
Oh,
Yeah, so
I'm
how do they pull
requesting
request?
request, and then my QA lead, she's reviewing the test, and she's merging to the origin master.
Yeah, so instead of pushing directly to the master, you will push it to the branch, a separate branch, and then you will raise a pull request, right?
Yes.
Okay, fine. So you are using Jenkins as well. Are you like involved with your CI/CD pipeline? Do you know how to create the CI/CD pipelines?
This CI/CD developers created for me. I just create the job, and
So just a job that you are triggering it, but you don't know. If I ask you that, okay, you have to set up the complete pipeline for this project, will you able to do that?
I know the concept, but I don't know. Maybe I know that I know the concept where the developers they post the jar file in the
Okay, no worries.
the
So fine. So let's back to you have written RestAssured also. So in RestAssured, like are you like totally involved, or you're just writing some test cases, or just automating some basics of APIs? Can you tell me the basics of some basic syntax of, let's see, a post call with RestAssured? What
okay,
are the
so
different methods you'll be using it?
right. If with the post HTTP method, I would first as a API testing, I would do some first that request given where I put it the headers and then concept type, which will be accepted, which format will be accepting, and then I will be giving the body request body, and then I will get the response, and that response I will be validating by that response body.
Good, good, good. But let's see, as a body, you are passing a JSON payload, right? And the JSON payload is very heavy. It's a huge file. It's a huge JSON. How will
Okay.
you pass the JSON payload with this body? What are different best practices you will be using it?
If the JSON payload is too big.
Yep.
So then maybe like JSON holds array, that the JSON holds objects. Then if it's it will be, I would be passing, but by if.
So let's say you want to add some user, right?
Okay.
Or let's say you want to add some account. There is an add account API, and then you have to, it's a post call, and then you have to pass a huge JSON. Let's see, there are around 60, 70 attributes are there in your JSON.
With
right?
With the query param, or if
No, I'm not talking about query parameter. Query parameter is for the get call. I'm talking about for the post call. You have to send a huge payload, a big payload with the JSON request, with the HTTP request that you are passing it.
Right.
Have you have you ever used like POSO classes or something like this?
What classes?
POSO, POJO, POSO classes in Java.
POJO, right? Yes, of course, yeah, POJO classes.
So what do you mean by POSO?
So POJO classes, it's also that classes I can put my variables, right? That variables where I can store all the variables and go through those if it's in the.
So do you understand what do you mean by serialization and deserialization?
Yes, it's a deserialization. It's converting JSON to the string object and
Mm-hmm.
Java object, and then serialization. It's converting Java object into to JSON,
Are you sure?
or maybe vice versa. So deserialization is converting JSON to Java object. Or
Okay.
from.
What is the full form?
Mhm.
Okay. What is the full form of POSO?
What is the
Yeah. What is the full form? The full name of POSO objects.
full name?
The
Plain
full.
object.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Okay. Fine. That's okay. So one last thing about that. Okay, because you have written you are using uh, Jira and all those things, right? You're using Agile and attending the Scrum meetings and everything. So how comfortable you are with Jira?
with Jira, uh, each time when we have
Mm-hmm.
in the sprint, there is on the backlog on the features. I took a ticket and then I start my testing those
Mm-hmm.
features. And then if there is a bug, so I raise the bug and then report the bug, create the bug, and I put it in the Jira. And then I put the whole the step definitions, how it was, how I found it, um, that the test cases, how it was positive, negative, and then if putting the whole, attach the all in with evidence and screenshots. If I will able to do the video, so I put it the whole on the those raised back with the name of the ticket, with the name of that. That the bug name, and then I assign to myself, and then I assign to the developer.
Okay. Okay, Alvina, I think that's good. So that's all from my side. What do you think about? So the interview is done. Interview is over. What do you think? How was it?
Uh, I got lost. The following
Mm-hmm.
questions, like when you're concentrating on one thing, and then it was going, like the another questions is like trying to, like, it's yeah, I guess I had a lot of gaps that I need to cover.
Okay, so let me start the feedback part. Okay. See, your graph was like that. When you started like that, and then it was going down, and then okay. So that's quite up and down. Okay. Let's talk about the positive part. According to me, what I've felt about after taking all the answers from your side, your intro was really good, and the way you have explained about the projects, and then quickly you explained about the feature of your product also in one or two lines. That was absolutely good. The Scrum, Agile, and other Cucumber, BDD, WebDriver with Java. You're using JUnit and all such things that you're using it. So that was like quite good. 20% manual, 80% automation thing. So it was a very nice. That's why I told you that. Okay, yeah, that's wow. So that was a really good answer from your side, which is absolutely perfectly fine. Okay, with that. And then you have the good knowledge about your manual testing concepts with respect to like typical testing concepts. How will you do that? Smoke, regression, and all such things. If any bugs are coming with respect to your automation, then how will you fix that? Like that. But a couple of questions answer you can improve that. First of all, you said that okay, you are trying to automate 100% automation. Do you really think so that okay, can we? Yes, we can do that. It's not like okay, it's everything is possible, but it is like really so regular or frequently possible that okay, yeah, 100% automation we are trying to achieve in every sprint. Just try to avoid such things at a time of interview. Simple say okay, yeah, whatever I can automate, and then we plan it on the basis of that. There are certain criterias on the basis of that we try to automate, because you are contradicting your own statement. You are doing some manual testing as well and doing some automation as well. If everything is automated from the previous sprint, then what exactly you're trying to, then what exactly you're running through manual test cases, right? So don't underestimate, and because you're saying you're doing some 20% manual testing also, and 20% is a very good weightage. If everything is automated, then what exactly you are testing it manually, right? So they both are contradict actually. So that is what interviewer might get confused, that okay, what exactly she is trying to say. So just be careful. Don't say 100% automation. Simple say, okay, yeah, whatever that is available. First we write the test cases, and then we see that okay, yeah, this can be automated. We try to automate 30, 40, 50%, whatever is possible. We try to automate that, and then we will add those test cases with our main regression automation test suite. Then I was really liking your question, I mean, answer that, okay, you said complete idea about that sanity. You have around 30, 40 test cases, and then 42 test cases for sanity for UI, which is taking around 15 minutes. For API, you have 38, 40 test cases. Then for regression, you have 355, which is taking 2+ hours, which is a nice data that, okay, you are giving it. It looks that, okay, yeah, this is what actually the candidate has actually worked upon some real-time projects. That's perfectly fine. And then you are saying that, okay, once in a month, sorry, once in 2 weeks you are executing your regression test cases, because it's not regular thing. Whenever the sprint is over, that time you have to do that. So I really like that answer, which is quite practical answer that okay, you have given. Then you have given that the spoke test cases are part of Jenkins, and but slightly confusion with respect to that. If some test cases are getting failed, then what are the different action items that you are going to take it? So that was somewhere I felt that okay, it can be improved. Although you said that okay, yeah, I'll look into my script part and then I'll try to check what exactly the problem. Then you could have an answered question, okay, answer with the, maybe it's a locator issue, maybe something got changed on the UI from the developer side. Then maybe XPath got disturbed, and then we had to change it, or maybe some functionality got deleted or added, or some features they have added, or maybe it could be a sync issue. So we will look into it, and then on the positive side, you can tell some real-time examples. Okay, in the previous, I mean, most of the time it happens that okay, the scripts are getting failed because of the application bugs. So it means my automation is actually finding the okay, checking the points over here, finding the bugs that okay, yeah, this is what we got the failure, and see the power of automation here. This is a leverage of automation that we are doing it. So tell that some really good examples or answers at a time of interview, so that interviewer also will see that okay, yeah, this is the value of automation, that okay, that person is actually doing it, right? Then the architecture of the framework was good, that okay, you're using Maven, feature file, step definitions, different components and everything. And then I liked your answer with respect to page object model, that maintaining the assertion in the different Testng class or JUnit class, and then do not write the assertions inside the page class. Page class is encapsulated. So you're showing your knowledge with respect to object-oriented programming and the good practices for the design pattern. But you were a lot of confusion with respect to singleton pattern.
Right.
Right. So singleton pattern answer that you have to improve can be achieved, because the moment you say singleton pattern, people will ask you, can you execute with the parallel mode or not, right? So you should, if you're saying that okay, I'm using singleton pattern, you should know about it. What do you mean by singleton pattern? A quick definition, a quick basic idea you can tell at the time of interview, right? Then that till here absolutely good that you were actually at this level. The moment you said that okay, I'm running on Sourcelabs, and then you were not sure about the remote WebDriver, right, and the desired capabilities, then I gave you the hint, right? And then you got to know that okay, yeah, where exactly you will be writing the host IP address and the URL and everything. You have to pass the key also if you're registering with the Sourcelabs or browser stack, right? So please, okay, do not do these. This is a very basic simplest mistake, but do not do that, because you're saying basically you're using Sourcelabs, right?
Okay.
And then if you're showing 6+ and then you said okay, I know everything in Selenium, that is again a wrong statement. So that shows that okay, you are confident, but sometimes it looks like overconfident, because if you are setting a benchmark over here that okay, yeah, you ask me anything in Selenium, and the moment I ask about remote WebDriver, Selenium Grid, you are not sure about it. right? So please try to avoid to say such things that I know everything about Selenium. You ask anything. No. If you're like
Right.
super confident, you know each and everything, then only you should say that. In fact, then only that time also you should not say such things that okay, yeah, because there is always an improvement area. There is always some improvement scope that okay, yeah, this person is still learning. Simple say that okay, yeah, whatever I have seen, most of the Selenium core features I have used, I have implemented, and I'm quite comfortable with Selenium with Java. I'll try to give the best answer if you ask me. Just
Right.
present your answer like that instead of saying that okay, yeah, you just I'm perfectly fine in Selenium, 100%. Do not say that like that, right? Then please read about the Selenium Grid as well, because this is something very important. You are showing 6+ years of experience and you're showing all the frameworks and everything. So please read about, use it, implement it practically at least once. That will be good. Because the moment you said you're not using Grid, that's why I did not ask the next question about Docker containers. The
Right.
Dockerized Grid, are you using it or not? Are you using Selenoid or Selenium or something like this? I did not ask because you are not aware of it. So you're losing that important factor over here. Okay, because if you're not talking about grid, right?
Yes.
Then a Cucumber feature file, who will you have given the format given when then. So what I've observed that okay, you know the answer, but you take time to give the answer. The answer is not coming immediately. You first you like you think, and then slowly you give the answer. Just try
Right.
to improve that speed, right? That is, I'm not saying okay you should not think about it, but sometimes what happens is okay, yeah, sometimes I'm getting the feeling that maybe you observed or not that okay, she doesn't know answer, but suddenly you are giving the answer. That is
Oh,
the kind of feeling I'm getting, that okay, the moment I ask a question and then you were like totally maybe blank, or maybe you were not sure about it, but suddenly you started giving the right answer. So please try to it's okay that you okay take few seconds and then give the best answer for that. Just practice accordingly. Same thing happened with the given when then. When the moment I asked you that okay, how you design the features, you were totally confused, and then given when then a lot of confusion happened, and then you said, and then you gave the right sequence after that. So why don't you give the right sequence immediately when someone is asking the question? So that is the thing that you have to improve, because right. Then background versus hooks was good. Scenario outline, examples, keyword, data table. That was a really nice answer. It shows that okay, yeah, this person is having some knowledge on good knowledge on Cucumber. Then see, if you are talking about Cucumber and the BDD together, definitely people will start grilling you. People will start talking about that, okay, why you're using BDD. It's not about that, okay, if you're using Cucumber, it means you are using a BDD approach over there or BDD practices over there. This is not true. In most of the companies, what happens, they are using Cucumber, but they are not following proper BDD approach. So Cucumber is not BDD. If you're using Cucumber, it does not certify that, okay, you are using a proper BDD approach. So you have to justify this answer. Why are you using Cucumber? Who is creating the feature file? The main fundamental of BDD is that you have to collab. The dev, QA, and the PO, they should sit together, define all the features, and write in the common language, that is the gherkin keywords that you are using it in the form of given, when, then, writing scenario outlines, different features, examples, and everything you are writing together. It's not QA responsibility, because you are not directly talking to the stakeholders. On what basis you are writing it, right? So just say that okay, yeah, it's a collab, it's a collaboration, okay, among all these three amigos. This is called amigos, QA,
right, right.
dev, and just try
Team.
to, yeah, I have one video also. In fact, there are a lot of blogs are written on BDD. Just watch that. People will ask you, the moment you say Cucumber, people will ask you, are you using BDD? Tell me about BDD. Why are you using Cucumber? And who will write the feature file? Why it's a QA responsibility? Why are you taking unnecessary burden to write the feature files, right? So then you have to justify those answers. Although you justify that, okay, yeah, so that we can write a common language, it's really good, okay, for others. The moment I ask, then are you sharing with them? Then you said, no, I'm not sharing. Then what is the purpose? Then why are you writing? Why are you using Cucumber? What is the benefit of using Cucumber? Then again, you started in the same loop so that other can understand that. Then I asked, are you sharing with them? Then you said, no, I'm not sharing. Then what is the advantage you are getting out of it, right? So just try to avoid certain situations. So these are the small things, not major things. Still, you are absolutely fine till here. There's no big problems. Then I asked about the stale element reference exception that, okay, yes, you said, okay, yeah, when we refresh the page. So you know that, okay, when we are getting it, but you're not very much sure about it, that when and sorry, why we are getting this particular exception. Then I gave you some basic hint, and then you said, okay, maybe element got stale, and just try to be add that flavor DOM. The DOM got updated with the new page, right? And then obviously the previous DOM element will not work on the new DOM. That's why Selenium will throw that exception, stale element reference exception, like that. And Selenium maintains one element ID internally, so that ID got expired on the basis of new DOM. So that's why we are getting stale element reference exception like that. That will be the best answer you could have given, but that's fine. Okay. Then a lot of confusion with implicitly wait, explicitly wait. Not a single right answer, frankly speaking. Honestly, we will never mix up both the waits together. That is a problem. And I give you a hint also that if you have, let's say, implicitly wait of 30 seconds, and then you again implicitly wait means it's a global wait. The moment you write this line driver dot find element, implicitly wait, automatically it will be applied because you have already declared it the globally. It means for all the 100 elements, it will be applied. And on top of that, you are applying, let's say, 20 seconds of explicitly wait also. So 30 plus 20, the cumulative wait will be applied for that particular element, right? So let's see, you have 500 elements in your framework, and for 100 elements, you are using explicitly wait. So it will be a big performance issue in your framework. You getting a point? So that's why we don't mix both the weights together. If you read some really good blogs or maybe on a Stack Overflow, Selenium creators also, they have given the right answer over there that you should never mix implicitly wait and explicitly wait. In fact, we should never use implicitly wait in our framework. Whenever it's needed, you use explicitly wait. If element is not immediately present or available or not found, then you put a synchronization in the form of WebDriver wait or the fluent wait, right? So just read it more about it. It's very, very important interview question. People will ask you at time of interview. Okay. Yeah. Then HTML tag of A. Elvina, what is the HTML tag of links? A, right? I know you know it, but you said div. That was not a right answer. You have to say that, okay, it's an anchor tag. You have to write with A and simple driver dot find elements by dot tag name. Although we can use with the by dot XPath also. You simple write /A. You can do that, but you could have given the right XPath in that case. But the best answer is by dot tag name. It's a very common question actually. How will you get total number of links? How will you print all the text over there? So that was a little confused. Okay, you were confused about that. And then see, the same thing happened. You know the answer that, okay, it will return the list, but you did not say immediately. And your response was, your body language was a little dull in that case. So when you give the answer, simple, be confident and then say, okay, yeah, the driver.find elements will return what? List of web element. And then I'll start a for loop to iterate the entire list. That's it. The answer is perfect. Okay. So that's okay. And then you were not sure about the virtual capacity. So maybe I think you should some basic concentrate on the collections API also. What is virtual capacity? How exactly array list works internally? The difference between hash map and hash table. Hash map is not synchronized, right? Hash table is synchronized. And these are important differences that you should know about it. Okay. Then your sequence was good for Git. First of all, that I told you the question was that you have a Maven project in your repository, and then first time you have to push the code over there. So why do you want to clone? Clone means when the code is already available, the repository is already available. When you join a new team or new project, then first time you have to clone it. The question was that the project is already with you. You are the first person who already created the project. You have to push it. So you should start directly with init that you have already given, right? The right answer you have given, but don't use a clone in that case. So first init, then add, then you commit with my name with the name, and then you push it, and then push it to the branch over there. But pull request, please improve that answer. Okay, you are not very much sure about it. When to use pull, right? I said 3 times that, okay, will you push the code to the master branch directly? Simple said, okay, no, this is not a good practice. I'll create a local branch. Let's see the feature branch. and feature branch to feature branch, I'll push over there, and then I'll raise a pull request to the peers, to my lead or something, and when they approve it, then we will merge the code to the master branch. That's it. Simple answer, right? Within a second, you can give the answer for such things. That's it. Right? I know you know the things, but I think the practice is required for certain things. And then Jenkins, it was not expected because you have not written that much things in your resume also about Jenkins, but I just wanted to know that, okay, you were using or not. If you're saying just a job with 6 years experience, so please try to learn how to create a basic pipeline and declarative pipeline. And then if someone is saying, explain about CI/CD pipeline, simple say that, because it doesn't look good sometimes. Okay, our developers, they have created, and then we are just using that job.
Right.
6+ or 7 years experience, if we are showing, then people will expect such things, that level of DevOps knowledge also. Okay, people will expect from you, right? So just try to improve that thing as well. Then API part, I did not ask much questions, but your sequence was good given the header, body, and then you will assert it and all those things. But then you confuse that, okay, if that is a very valid question, that if you have a huge payload, then how will you handle it? Then you have to say that, okay, yeah, maybe I'll be using the POSO, or a serialization, deserialization, the conversion from POSO to JSON and JSON to POSO back, right? Serialization and deserialization, like that, I'll be doing that. And then at the runtime, I'll be using getter and setter, then set the value and get the value, and then send the request to the payload. And whenever you are getting the response, and then again, I'll be using the get methods from the POSO classes, and then try to assert over there with the response body. So like, I'm pretty much sure you're doing exactly same thing in your framework as well, but you are not sure about it, right? So that's fine. So that small thing that you can improve. So overall, I would say some little bit practice is still required. So somewhere I see that, okay, you are really good. Somewhere you really need to do practice, and somewhere I see that sometimes you use like 100% automation things. You should avoid that. You should not say that. I'm 100% confident in Selenium. Avoid that. So somewhere let's not have that, things unnecessary, because it sets very high expectation from the candidate, and then interviewer will start the questions, like that only.
Yeah, thank you so much. That's really, really helpful. Like, I know, like, we're in like
And one thing, when we started this interview, right, I did not ask, tell me about yourself. Okay, I think you did not notice. So let the interviewer ask, and I know you were very excited, and you were excited to give the answer and everything. You know that, okay, this is a question that, okay, is going to become, but let them ask. Let interviewer ask that, okay, yeah, tell me about yourself, what exactly you're doing, and then you start it without asking. So just small thing, just do, okay?
Right.
Otherwise, everything is fine. Good to me.
Thank you so much.
No worries. Have any questions?
Oh, no questions. Now I know like where I have to work harder and like recap all of these things.
Yeah. See, this is the purpose of these mock interviews, right? A lot of people, they were asking that, okay, give the answer at the end. See, answers are already available in the form of videos. I really want to show that, okay, yeah, this is what the interview will happen. At a time of, the real-time interviews also, interviewer will never give you the answer. But I'm just giving you the hint in the form of feedback also. I'm just giving you all the improvement areas, improvement points over here. So just work upon that. You know what to do now, in which area that you have to improve. And then I think you are good to go. You are a good candidate. I'm telling you, you have a good communication skills. But if you are not confident about it, then the confidence will be less as compared to know the things. Okay, that time your confidence is very high. And as otherwise, I think somewhere I would say couple of weeks of preparation, and then I think you are good to go for interviews.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Javi.
Great. Thank you, Elvira. Thanks for having this, and then I'll wish you best of luck.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.